rapid finance instruments, resilience and sustainability facility, short-term liquidity facility, standby arrangement, and standby credit facility. Well, as a nation, we are to benefit we are benefiting from the extended credit facility from the IMF. And for the extended credit facility, it is given to countries that have challenges in maintaining their account with the IMF. So as a nation, we've had challenges maintaining our arrangement with this IMF. And as a nation, we've had challenges even under this government to meet the standards by the IMF. And the IMF makes it clear that even if you falter on your commitment to the IMF, it doesn't mean you cannot receive any money from the IMF. Pro-business and pro-people. Because according to the arrangement and according to what is given to this government, they are required to ensure that they alleviate poverty-centered programs. They are required to ensure that their programs are tabled or channeled to address poverty issues. So it is no secret why they put this in this budget. When you go into the details of the budget, it is also critical to note that what is in the objective is not reflective of what is in the document. So clearly, this budget has served a lip service to the people of this country. They cannot get this 78.8 million if they do not state that this objective is pro-poor or pro-business and or pro-people. Mr. Speaker, you said something when you talked about our nation being poor. Yes, we have challenges in our economy. We have challenges in raising revenue for this country. We have challenges in ensuring that revenues raised for this nation are actually going to the accounts of this government. But if you look at the budget and you look at the votes, majority of the votes goes to the NRA. The NRA, which is votes the NRA is getting 489 million, twice of what the Ministry of Finance is getting from this budget as a recurrent budget. But unfortunately, we have operatives within the NRA, and it's no secret. A lot of operatives have been investigated over time of creating accounts wherein money that is meant for government is going into personal accounts. Increasing taxes cannot be the solution. Strengthening the NRA to ensure that those funds that are intended for government do not go into special accounts should be the goal of this government. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the problem with this nation is that we are trying to take somebody to the moon when we cannot make a motor vehicle. The other day, the MP from Cambia was boasting that we have CT machines. But I cannot blame him because depending on where we are from, you can say CT scan machines of 10 for a nation of 10 million people is an achievement. We want to say we have ambulance services. We want to say we have all the facilities, or we have hospitals within how many square radius of miles. But Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we want to ensure that communities across this country get ambulance services. We have 190 chiefdoms in this country, Mr. Speaker. And in those chiefdoms, we have over hundreds and hundreds of villages. For example, in Cambia district, there are 805 villages. So if, let's say, we have communities in those villages, and in those chiefdoms, you have what is called a center, like for example in Koya Chiefdom, like the Babai section, we have 14 villages. So Gambia, for example, have 805 villages. Do you want to say we cannot try to ensure that for every 10 to 14 villages, we have one ambulance for those 10 to 14 villages? Yes. We do not have chiefdoms with ambulance services. So let's focus on how we can redirect resources. So when we speak that, oh, the chief minister's office is getting this money, when we speak that, oh, the office of the secretary of the president is getting this amount of money, or when we speak that the office of the president is getting this amount of money, we are not saying, okay, we are rich, but we have to have our priorities straight. And how do we ensure to have our priorities straight? Is to ensure that monies that could be used for bureaucracies, other offices that could be managed, should be redirected to those agencies that really need them. So when we say we need medical opportunities in Sierra Leone, it's not because we say we are rich, but we have to have our priorities straight. In Sierra Leone, for example, somebody can get ill today and they will die on their way to the hospital. In the US, for example, somebody will get ill today and they will call 911 and an ambulance service will take them to the hospital. They will even die on their way to the hospital, but they are in an ambulance versus in Sierra Leone, they could be in an Okada. So, Mr. Speaker, this is very serious. Let's talk about the drugs situation in this country a little bit, since I don't have enough time. We say, okay, government has given 9 million to Drug Enforcement Agency. When you calculate 9 million in dollar terms, we are talking about $217,000 for a whole year. $217,000 to fight a $200 million cartel. How can we achieve that if we were to use $217,000 to fight a 200 million plus trade? It is impossible. So, Mr. Speaker, when we say we are poor, yes, we could be poor, but we as a nation have to prioritize. We have to prioritize. We have to cut corners to ensure that we deliver the goods for our people. If we do not do that, you will have the opposition continuously calling government on that. And that's what we are trying to do. Mr. Speaker, I will end on the Poverty Reduction Growth Trust. The Poverty Reduction Growth Trust is one that IMF...
Your time is up. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. So the Poverty Reduction Growth Trust is one that the IMF has given to our nation, and is one that the Ministry of Finance notably has taken due diligence to do. But indeed, if the budget do not speak in that direction, definitely, Mr. Speaker, the budget will not get that money from IMF. And to close, Mr. Speaker, on those missionaries, we have 30 missions across the world. But it is interesting to note that in Sierra Leone, we only have 19 missions in Freetown. So for a small country, when we say we are poor, to take missions across the country, the world, of 30, but it is reciprocated by the nation by only 19, it means we do not have our priorities straight, and that is why the opposition continues to cry. And total of all those 30 missions, the total amount that governments have to give to those 30 missions is in the tune of 148 million leones. 148 million. If we can slash that in half, the other half can even go to Drug Enforcement Agency. Because when we pass this, the emergency on drugs, the state of emergency on drugs, we were promised that we have rehabilitation centers in all districts of this country. But as we speak, we're only struggling with 3 rehabilitation centers. Let's put our money where our mouth is and let us fight this drug abyss in this country, because it is very important to ensure that, because as we speak now, Sierra Leone is banned from getting entry into the US with other 19 nations. And if we don't do that, we in this region, which is only Sierra Leone, are in the same category as countries like Venezuela or Cuba. So we have to do better for this country. We have to work in earnest and in honest to ensure that we change the story of this nation, as we have spent enormously in ensuring that we clean the image of our country across the world. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said to you this morning, I had not wanted to debate because I felt we needed to give the opportunity to our colleagues to have their bites. And particularly when I'm coming down with flu, Mr. Speaker. But as a health committee chairperson, I needed to throw light for this nation to understand how far we've come in the health sector. And Mr. Speaker, I am begging that I go beyond the 10 minutes because I need the nation to understand. And please pardon my voice today. As I said, I'm not all that okay.
No, please summarize in 10 minutes.
I'll try. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me thank the minister signed a convention, the Maputo Convention. We are part of the signatory that stated that we are to be at a 10% for our health sector. Mr. Speaker, as I speak, we are on 8%. Last budget, we were 7. This year, there have been an increase, we're on 8. It tells you we are gradually getting there. Mr. Speaker, let me start with the health sector of the UK, where I worked for 16 to 18 years. Mr. Speaker, up to this day, when I visit my children, I ensure I go to my trust and I practice just so that I don't lose my skills. Mr. Speaker, the UK caters for $23 per citizen for their health sector. USA caters $21 for their citizens. Sierra Leone is $3 per citizen. Why? As you rightly said, Mr. Speaker, our nation is not there yet. We are not there yet. And even with the health sector in the UK that is catering 23% per citizen, Mr. Speaker, my trust, the South London and Mosley Trust, where I have practiced for so long, when they read their budget last week, they have closed over 50 health centers. And 3 hospitals, including my hospital that I was practicing, the Bethlehem Royal Hospital, have been shut down. Why is that, Mr. Speaker? They are struggling. If the UK is struggling to maintain their health sector, who are we, Sierra Leone? We are crawling. But yet still, Mr. Speaker, within that $3 that we are working with here in Sierra Leone, we have been able to increase the life expectancy of Sierra Leoneans. How? Through the effectiveness of our ministry, through the effectiveness of the Ministry of Finance by prioritizing health in every sphere of this country. Mr. Speaker, the last time I was traveling, I met the Minister of Finance at the airport. And it was there we were discussing our responsibility to pay towards the Gavi. The 20% responsibility that Sierra Leone have to pay to Gavi vaccination. Mr. Speaker, we are trying as a nation. 2 months ago, Gavi was here. And we were classed as being at 90%. That is a huge success. 90% success rate for vaccination. And Mr. Speaker, all monies that we own as counterpart payments have been paid in full to Gavi. That is not all, Mr. Speaker. It is within this 3%, Mr. Speaker, that maternal and mortality rates have dropped from 717 to 354, Mr. Speaker. It is within this 3% that we have also increased the adolescent clinic attendance. We have increased by 22% rise in modern contraceptive use. We have also increased 90% of live deliveries in this country, Mr. Speaker. It is within this 3%, Mr. Speaker, that we have done so many infrastructural developments in our hospitals. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, Now we have up to 17 hospitals that are solarized in this country. We also have 18 hospitals that have oxygen plants within that 3%, Mr. Speaker. As a nation, that is not all. When you go to the emergency hospital, only 3 days ago that they confirmed to me that the Ministry of Finance have disbursed another money to them. Mr. Speaker, the amount of accident rates in this country is alarming. It is only the emergency hospital that is supporting us. This country is paying huge money to the emergency hospital as our part payment, as a nation, to show that we are committed to what they are doing. Mr. Speaker, where are all this money coming from? When my colleague was speaking, he spoke like a Sierra Leonean. We can have every plan as a Sierra Leoneans, but we also have to play our parts. It is in this well, Mr. Speaker, when I was walking in the corridor, not only the APC members of parliament, but SAPP members of parliament that litter us on the floor. We have the responsibility of not doing that. Do you think structures have not been put in place to ensure we don't litter? But are we playing our part? My colleague just spoke about the droppings in the NRA, allegedly. Is that the fault of the Minister of Finance? Is that the fault of the President? No. The people in the NRA who he allegedly said that they are transferring monies into their accounts, Mr. Speaker. They are not SLPP or APC, we cannot tell. They are Sierra Leoneans. We are doing our best to raise revenue. But we have the same Sierra Leoneans who are crying this budget down, ensuring that we don't achieve what we want to achieve, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me also highlight to you, my colleagues were talking about ambulance services. Mr. Speaker, if you go to every district now, we can proudly say ambulance services are available. Through the next services, Mr. Speaker. Last year, this country, through the Ministry of Finance, was able to procure 10 ambulances, brand new ones, again, to add to the districts. We are moving. We are not there. He spoke about the CT scan machines. Our people are paying huge monies to travel out of this country. We are now ensuring that we procure these machines and people can access it. When you go to ECOMED, you are paying huge money to do a CT scan. Now we are saying we now have it free in Connaught. We also have it in Kenema and Kailan. How is that happening, Mr. Speaker? Our people can now access these services. And we even have our nurses that are now learning from these machines. Mr. Speaker, let me also point out, as a nation, we need 5,000 doctors in this nation. And that takes me to recruitment. My colleague is not here, but she was talking about what have the ministry done, the Ministry of Finance have done on the recruitment of healthcare services. Let me highlight that, Mr. Speaker. When the SLPP came to governance in 2018, for 10 years, no PIN codes were given in this country. They were training nurses, and when we came, the first PIN code that was given in 2019, we gave PIN code to 5,000 healthcare workers. And Mr. Speaker, on the database of that healthcare services, we had 13,000 nurses trained and qualified with no PIN codes. We had to look among that 13,000 plus to give PIN codes to 5,000. Again, Mr. Speaker, last year, in the budget, 3,000 was allocated to be given PIN codes. After the 5,000 PIN code that was given in 2019, 2 years ago, we gave another 2,000 PIN codes to healthcare workers. Again, Mr. Speaker, we have 3,000 that is currently ongoing. Oh, yes. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the delay in the recruitment of healthcare services is for us to put structural systems in place. Before, Mr. Speaker, when you go to the corridors of HRMO and U building, you will see healthcare workers sitting on the floor, standing around everywhere. What we have done this year, we have now put in a porter system in place, which is why the delay. When the budget was passed last year, we couldn't implement that because we're trying to now put a system where people are given PIN codes based on their qualification and their competence. Yes. Mr. Speaker, we are giving PIN codes to the same Sierra Leoneans, Mr. Speaker, and they are not reporting for work. They are in their villages buying palm oil. They are in their villages doing business instead of being in the hospitals and the health facilities to practice, Mr. Speaker. How can we continue to recruit when people are not doing justice to this nation? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my colleagues was talking about the hospitals, Cambia and McKinney. Just a few months ago, Mr. Speaker, free healthcare drugs were stolen in the hospitals. This government is paying huge money to procure free healthcare drugs. What happens when they go to the hospitals? Our same healthcare workers, be it SLPP, be it APC, be it NGC, they are selling these drugs instead of dispensing it to the people that they are due for. They are selling these drugs. Are they patriotic? They are not, Mr. Speaker. And so for us, I always say, it doesn't matter if Jesus come back to rule Sierra Leone. We have to change our attitude as Sierra Leoneans. We have to be patriotic to our nation. Budgets cannot do us justice. These are just projections. What do we do to ensure we achieve these projections? We cannot stand here and criticize when we ourselves, I'm sure there are so many members of parliament in this world who are doing businesses. If you are to now check, are we paying the correct taxes that we are supposed to be paying for finance to collect the revenue that they need? You cannot tell. Are we being patriotic as Sierra Leoneans? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when you go to
Honorable, you have 1 more minute.
Mr. Speaker, when you talk about services delivery, Mr. Speaker, when I said healthcare workers, I spoke briefly about the healthcare workers. Let me go to the doctors, Mr. Speaker. It is this government that have now ensured we need 5,000 as a nation. We need minimum of 5,000 doctors in our hospitals. Currently, Mr. Speaker, we only have 120. It is this government that have now put its structures in place through the Ministry of Finance. We are now trying to ensure we support the colleges and universities by building infrastructures, by supporting them to train more doctors. Mr. Speaker, it doesn't happen overnight. Anesthesians, when you look at the whole country, how many anesthesians do we have? We only have 28, Mr. Speaker. It is not by magic. They are doing their best. But it is a nation that is building itself slowly, Mr. Speaker. The healthcare sector has improved drastically. You go to the hospitals, Mr. Speaker, infrastructurally. When you go to Joy, we are currently building a hospital, a facility to train our doctors. Unimac is, how do they call them? The hospital, Commerce is building to train our doctors there, Mr. Speaker. Where is that money coming from? It's from the government of Sierra Leone. Let us look at the positive impacts that we have made so far. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when you go to our hospitals currently, the trained and qualified personnel that you see there have never been so in the history of Sierra Leone. Why is that, Mr. Speaker? We now have, even though the partners that have been supporting us, as one of my colleagues rightly said, even the HIV and AIDS fundings that we used to receive have been totally cut down, Mr. Speaker. It's not coming anymore. But yet still, healthcare drugs for HIV and AIDS are still being supplied to our victims. Where is it coming from? The Ministry of Finance. So it is through these revenues, Mr. Speaker, it is through these revenues that fundings are being allocated for us to be able to take care of certain issues. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it was in this world that one of our colleagues nearly passed out in this parliament. The paramount chief. Why? Because our hospitals didn't have the clinic here in Parliament. Didn't have the trained and qualified personnel to perform their duties. Mr. Speaker, we have now ensured that all our personnel are going for trainings to ensure that if anything happens in this Parliament, we are adequately looked after. These are all small steps that we are making as a country, as a nation. One day we will get there. When you look at, for example, I was arguing the other day, Mr. Speaker, why the budget is at 8%. Mr. Speaker, the overseas medical traveling is so huge. It's a burden on this nation. Every now and then, we currently have 3 members of parliament that are out for overseas treatment. This nation is crumbling, and it is embedding on us as citizens of this nation to play our part. Without that, Mr. Speaker, we are all going to crumble. But in the absence of that, Mr. Speaker, let me say clearly that the healthcare workers that we have currently and the training that is going for pin codes, let me assure and allay the fears of members of parliament that the minister has assured the Ministry of Health that that will go on for 3,000 health workers, and we are hoping for more. And as currently, Mr. Speaker, the portal system that was open for this recruitment, Mr. Speaker, we had 9,795 applications on that portal, and we only need 3,000. It tells you we still have a huge gap. And who is the cause of that gap? It's the APC that didn't give PIN code for 10 years. We are trying to amend the mistake. Thank you.
Now we round up.
Mr. Speaker, before they round up, please let me observe. Yeah, I was here yesterday and I was actually feeling very bad, and I asked my colleague to go and meet you, take an excuse for me to go home. And I came today with the hope of actually debating, but unfortunately, I couldn't notice me. I have lost enthusiasm now to talk, but next time, please.
Yeah, next time.
Okay?
Next time. Thank you. Honorable Daniel Kuman, the leader of the opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
And who is rounding up for the government bench? The what? The newest chairman of what? Oh, finance? Okay, it's all right. Yes, Honorable Daniel Kuman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Today is another golden opportunity for the people of this nation, and their destiny is now in our hands for us to determine what is good for this country. I want to thank the Honorable Minister, Mr. Minister, and his team for putting these documents together. And I want to use this opportunity on behalf of my leader, who is currently at the ECOWAS Parliament, to thank all our MPs. You've done very well from both sides. We've gained a lot from you, and we believe your points were done in good faith. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is the debate for national budgets, debate of the national budget. How should it go? In the debating national budget, you have to take note of two scenarios. Two scenarios. One on the left hand, the other on the right hand. And you are in the middle of those two scenarios to ensure that you read the best out of both. The first one is a document entitled the Finance Act. You have the Finance Act on your left, and you have the Appropriation Act on your right. The role of the Finance Act is to enable government to get money. Ways and means as to how government can get money. That is the role of the Finance Act. And then for the Appropriation Act, it is a ways and means to enable government to expeditiously spend the money. How you get the money? How do you expend it? Is our role here. And as part of this government, it is our responsibility to help
the minister succeeds in getting as much money as possible under the Finance Act. And it's our responsibility as well to guide him as to priority areas he should expend those monies into. Once you lose or you miss the priority, then you will be a failure. And we cannot sit down as government in the making, come 2028. You don't expect us to sit down and allow the Minister of Finance to go the wrong direction, which will force us to start everything fresh. We want to be the platform of which, in government of continuity, we will build a good platform with which we can continue to forge with the development of this country. So we need to join hands now to help this system succeed. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you check page 2, page 2, if you join page 2 of your budget statement, Mr. Speaker, the objective, number 1, is in line with the theme of the budget: enhancing domestic revenue mobilization. And that is your objective number 1. After reading objective number 1, then I read the rest. You know what I said to myself? I said, from number 2 to the rest, they are all fake. What you are here for, and you will prove to me right now, what you are here for right now is to make money. With money in your hands, with money within your purview, the rest will all be easy. When I say fake, I'm not saying you are lying. I'm not saying it's not applicable. But without number 1, the rest cannot apply. If you fail in the objective number 1, then you can do nothing with the rest of the objectives. You cannot talk of managing your money well, getting better priorities, when you have nothing in the first place. You should have money. Mr. Minister, SO2. Now money he wants. And will help me forget our money. Provided you listen to us as part of this government. Don't see us as opposition, just for opposition's sake. See us as part of this government who wants you to succeed. If you listen to us, you will leave this place as honorable minister, not Mr. Minister. By the powers vested in this parliament, with the indulgence of Mr. Speaker, if you listen to us, you will leave this place as honorable minister. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when I look at the theme, the title, domestic revenue mobilization, you know what I thought within myself? So, oh yeah, there's another title that is more appealing to me, and I wish you should have used that title. The title is Domestic Resource Mobilization. If I have my way, I will move for this title to be amended to read Domestic Resource Mobilization. But once that title is used in that context, you will be at a better position to succeed more. Domestic revenue is the end game. It's the end game. After you apply all the dynamics, what you want is money. It is the end game. But when you talk about domestic resource mobilization, it's not only limited to the financial resources, but it can be extended to the human resource, it can be extended to technological resource, it can be extended to mineral resources, it can be extended to resources from agriculture, it can be extended from donor partnership resource, it can be extended to even forest revenue, it can be extended to water resources, it can be extended to skills. You know what happened with those resource mobilization? When you say mobilize, you put together various sources, various resources, put them together in one package. And then you milk that resources. When you milk it, you juice it, the juice will flow out of that package. And when that juice flows, it goes into a system called, if I will use, based on my O-level economics, I'm not an economist. So allow me to use my layman's economist. Right? When you put together all those resources together, you squeeze it, you juice it, you mobilize them. The end goal is for those various sources to give you milk. And milk is liquid. It flows into the container. And then your goal now is for that container to be full to the brim. That is your hope. That is your aim. That is your objective. That is your wish. That your container will not be empty. That is my whole economics. For an economist, instead of using container, an economist will say reserve. It will go into your reserve. That is for the economist. But there is something I want you to know. There is something that we would like you to know. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as it is right now, based on all those resource mobilization, I know it's part of your agenda, but you have been focused more if you label your thing in that direction. Based on all that resource mobilization, one is now forced to ask ourselves, what is the current status of our container? Or for the economists, what is the current status of our reserve? For you to know the current status, allow me to use my O-level economics again. There is what we call in versus out. That is O-level economics. The in versus the out. For the economists, they prefer the term, economists prefer the term inflows and outflows. For the accountants, they prefer the term income and expenditure. Economists will say inflows and outflows. Accountants will say income and expenditure. And the O-level economists will say in versus out. So the issue now is there's a big problem. There's a big problem. Which means the minister needs to take notes and listen to me. When at any time, when the out outweighs the in, you have problem. When the outflow outweighs the inflow, you have problem. come, you have problem. And as a result, the container will not be full. It will be almost empty. That's whatever economics. I can drive, but I'm not a driver. But allow me to speak as a driver. I can drive, but I'm not a driver. For a driver, you know what we say? It is what we call reserve time. The reserve time, when what is coming out, what is going out is more than what is coming in. The reserve time will give you red gauge. The gauge don't light, SO2. The gauge will light. The reserve time, the gauge don't light. Because more goes out than what comes in. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when I read the latest World Bank economic updates on our reserve, SO2 made ton of offers. But I see with my naked eyes, the gauge don't light. And I'm not an engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm not a professional driver. But I'm usually informed that when that's all true. So when motor engage light, it can take you for at least 15 kilometers, maybe. 15 kilometers after that, it will halt, ground, quiet, no activity, no life, nothing. According to the latest World Bank economic updates, our current reserve is about 1 month, 1.5. 1.5 reserve. It's like 1 month. You know what that implies? It implies that in the event, God forbid, in the event there is chaos, there is shock, global shock, there is epidemic, there is sanction or whatsoever that cannot allow us to get what it is to have, to get more inflow, that will stop us from getting inflows. It shows that what is there already can serve us for only 1 month. Only 1 month. After 1 month, it's done. Can I equate that to life support machine? That is equivalent to a life support machine. But Mr. Minister, we are here to help you by way of advice. But provided you take my advice. Provided you take my advice. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, a good faith advice. Good faith. In the words of SPD, it will be quoted here, you will remember forever. Said to thyself be true. To thyself be true. A good faith advice. Mr. Minister, avoid MPAs undertaking frequent foreign travels. Minimize too much frequent foreign travels. It is giving a lot of burden on the economy. A lot of headache for you, sir. It depletes the reserve. It is causing a lot of headache for you. But Mr. Speaker, before I continue, you know, both of us, you know we can talk, right? We can talk. Yes? Myself and not you. Myself and Mr. Speaker. We can talk. And sometimes, and we are honest, because we know each other. Sometimes certain things happen, and then he's hyper, oh, is this thing? No, I will not accept. This is not good. And it's not good for this country. And it must not continue that way. And then we discuss and, we plan to take some action. And he's determined to take certain action. And then we depart. I go to my home, and then he goes his own way. The following day, or maybe a week later, I will meet him again. He says, Speaker, how is this problem? How is it? I want to go my own thing. That's what this country, not easy. No easy, pa. I don't want to try no more. If I mean, I wish I would. I want to see that day when I will retire and go to my coconut farm. And I also said to him, I wish I would retire one day and go to my grasshopper farm. So this country, you try no more, but easy. You know what? Sometimes he has no option. There's no option. So I said to myself, what is the real solution to the problems of this country? How can we eliminate this witchcraft that is bewitching the development of this country, keeping us poor, as you've just said? Why are we poor? Why are we kept in that order? I said to myself, the solution to this country.
That will be the best.
The solution to this country. I will give a description. You will tell me now who that description fits. This country. That is why I'm very sorry for you, Mr. Minister. Because this description doesn't fit you. Until you get someone who cannot say yes to anybody. Only an individual who cannot say yes, sir, who does not say yes, sir, to anybody, he alone has the solution to this country's problem. When you don't say yes, sir, to nobody, you don't say yes, sir, to no party. You don't say yes, sir, to no party politics. You don't say yes, sir, to no party loyalty. You don't say yes, sir, to any organ. You don't say yes, sir, to any individual. No minister, no MDA. You don't say yes, sir, to anybody. You alone has the solution to this problem. And for me, by my evaluation, that description rests with State House. It rests with State House. So allow me, Mr. Speaker, to speak to State House. From the beginning of my intervention onto my end, I am speaking to State House, State House, State House. State House, listen to me. You have the solution. As I bring my point, don't see me as an opposition. See me as a partner in development. See me as your partner. State House, you have to succeed. Otherwise, we will be the ones who will suffer. Are you expecting to sit down and allow you fail? No, I will not allow. I will give you my advice. State House. Support Mr. Minister. Support the Speaker. Support members of Parliament. Support other MPAs to reduce excess spending. Reduce excess spending. Reduce it. Mr. Speaker, somebody will say how. As a responsible opposition, we need to help you. If you ask me how, I will tell you how. I will tell you how. Number one, let us do postmortem on the embassies worldwide. Can we do a postmortem? For instance, embassies within West Africa. You go to the budget, the appropriation 128. In the appropriation 128, embassies within West Africa. you have Abuja, you have Monrovia, you have Banjul, you have Accra 4. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, what will be wrong if you can maintain 2 of that and then with directorates in the other 2 that can take instructions from the 1? What is wrong with that?
Everything.
By reducing 4 to 2 and then leaving units of those embassies in the other 2. Instead of 4, you reduce 2. By doing so, you will at current, government is spending 22.2 million in those 4. If you maintain 2, you will spend a little bit above half. A little bit above half. Maximum 13 million. Instead of 22 million. What will you have saved? You will have saved 8 million. In the same West Africa, I put together the French speaking. Conakry, Dakar. We have one in Conakry, we have one in Dakar. Because they are francophone, they speak the same language, they are official write-ups, they are emails, they speak together. What is wrong in using these 2 as 1? What is wrong? There will be a unit in 1 and then the ambassador in the other. And then they work together. This digital work, everything is so simple. Very simple. You don't need to be bodily present. You don't need to.
You have to preach on Sunday.
You can communicate. Very simple.
Can you please keep your energy for Sunday?
These two, government is spending 7.6 million, 7.6 million on this only. In the audios, is 7.6 billion. And Mr. Speaker, when you analyze, in fact, the last time I spoke with Mr. Minister, who will now be Mr. Honorable Minister, my Honorable Minister. You know I spoke with you sometime. Mr. Minister is not too happy. He's not too happy with the staffing, they care for those staff. They go with their children, they go with their aunties, they go with their uncles, they go with their security, go with their cooks, everything, go with their housemates, everything. And what happens when those children attend those schools in those foreign countries? You pay in those foreign countries. The expenditure is unnecessarily too much. For this to alone, 7.6. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I consider Paris. We have one in Paris. We have a UNESCO delegation. UNESCO, in fact, this one is, it just pissed me off, Mr. Speaker. Yes?
Parliamentary language?
Yes, it pissed me off, me.
Of course now.
Mr. Speaker, in Paris, we have an embassy in Paris. At the same time, we have the UNESCO delegation in the same Paris with separate vote heads. We have an embassy in Paris, then we have the UNESCO delegation also in Paris with different vote heads. All this what I'm saying, I'm speaking to State House, not Mr. Minister, because I know you cannot. It is not within your power. You don't have the power of Section 62 to establish or to appoint or to establish embassies. You don't have that power, so don't worry. Allow State House to listen to me. You have Brussels, you have Berlin, you have Geneva, all in Europe. How many? You have one. You have about five embassies that are named now. Of all those 5, government is spending 21.3 million. What is wrong? To have an ambassador at large What is wrong? With a single ambassador at large, you can coordinate all this with just one. And then the rest, just 2 or 3 staff, 2 or 3 staff, 2 or 3 staff. Just that. Rather than you get a full house in each. A full house may go up to 15 staff. And their relatives, their aunties, their uncles, their children, they go to schools in those countries. And then you pay all their entertainment, you pay all those school fees in those currencies. Can you take this as a bad faith advice? It cannot be. You can have an ambassador at large, a single ambassador. It will cut down costs. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Arab states in Africa, you have one in Nigeria, you have one in Cairo. These two alone, government is spending 7.2 billion millions. 7.2 millions. These people are Arab states. They speak the same language. In terms of email communication, in terms of WhatsApp communication, in terms of any other technological communication, they can communicate very well. So what is wrong by maintaining one and then allowing the other to be just a unit with about 3, maximum 4 staff? What is wrong? What is wrong? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, under vote head 125, under vote head 125, in the appropriation, we have an embassy in Dubai, we have an embassy in Kuwait, we have an embassy in Seoul, we have an embassy in Rabat, we have an embassy in Ankara, we have an embassy in Saudi Arabia, we have an embassy in Doha, we have an embassy in Tehran, we have an embassy in Riyadh. All those are Arab states in the Middle East. For God's sake, I'm not an expert. I'm not Director General in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But I believe if Sesay is listening to me, and Sesay has the power to modify these embassies, maybe there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With those 9, what is wrong? By studying their dynamics, studying their economies, studying their relationships, and then studying their culture, and then narrow it to 3 groups or 2 groups or 3 groups, and then the 9 embassies will be reduced to 3 embassies. There has been ordinary units. With those units, they will have maximum of 5 staff, and then they will communicate. Everything will go on well. What is wrong? This ones alone, government is spending 29.2 million euros. 29.2 million euros. If you reduce that to only 3 embassies, your budget will be cut down. You will be sending at least not more than 20. The 9 will be saved. Mr. Minister, you will have 9 within your course. Mr. Speaker, listen, my friend. Honorable members, as far as let me come to MDAs. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you check the rest, you will see that at least it's fair enough. The rest of the embassies, for instance, Fourth Head 128, High Commissioner to London. We are spending 9.8 million euros. What is High Commissioner to London? That is down on its own. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then, embassy in New York, the headquarters of the world, UN headquarters, fair enough. Can stay on its own. Fair enough. It's a UN headquarters, for God's sake. It can stand on its own. And we are spending 10.6 million euros. But fair enough. And the embassy at Washington, D.C. Embassy at Washington, D.C. 9.3 million euros. Fair enough. America, they are world power. And we have so much in common. So much. So you need a whole team to coordinate the relationship between the United States and Sierra Leone. Fair enough. 9.3 million euros. Moscow. I think it's fair enough. Because for Moscow, they are on their own. So it's difficult to blame them. It's difficult to blame. They are fair enough. You cannot blame them with Ukraine. It's not possible. It's 4.8 million euros. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then China, Beijing. We have an embassy at Beijing. Beijing is second world economy. And in fact, the activity of China in Sierra Leone, if I have my way, I will recommend 2 other embassies. 2 other embassies in China. China alone. So for a whole team to stay in China, in Beijing, to represent the interests of Sierra Leone, based on the history we have with China from the early 80s, even the 70s, I think it's fair enough. Those ones are fair enough. But for the rest, they can be blended together. So instead of maintaining 31 embassies,
Honorable members, Honorable, you are the ones. Your leader is debating. You should keep the decorum.
Exactly.
No, you two. I don't want to.
Mr. Speaker.
It's past 2, Mr. Speaker.
Mr.
A
Speaker.
leader is debating. Exercise patience.
Mr. Speaker, I want to observe something.
It was not fair enough that you gave me 10 minutes.
I want to observe something, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
You are just raising an issue of the noise that is coming from the back of the building. You can see honorable members have moved from their seats, and they are occupied.
Thank you. At least you have drawn something to my attention. All members return to your seats. All members, return to your seats. Everyone, this way. On my left, on my right. Return to your seats. Return to your seats.
At the camera, they want to let empty. But then they want to Aaron, I know this strategy for that day. Thank you.
Return. If you know you are not in your seat, return to your seat. You two on this side, everybody go back. Everybody go back. Now, in as much as I would not want to hear any undertone when this other side is debating, allow the leader to debate without much undertones. Yes, Honorable, according to the rules, it should be 2:30. It's already past 2:30. Can you please?
We need to talk about that
Proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Oh, who is not in the seat? Honorable Queen Tizana College, go back. Those members standing, please sit down. Okay, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members. As I said in my opening statement, our role here is to ensure the Minister of Finance succeeds.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you have instructed that everybody should protest.
Who is not in the seat? You all give a better. Get back. After. Proceed on that.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I said in my opening statement, that our role here is to ensure Minister of Finance succeeds.
Honorable Bokar, is that your seat? Go back to your seat. Okay, proceed, leader.
But I very well know that you are not the one-stop shop in the governance system. You say yes to somebody. And based on my observation, I'm over 50. Based on my observation in this country, as long as you say yes to somebody, you don't have the solution. So therefore, I'm pleading with the State House to see my point from an objective point of view, in terms of how best we can cut down on excess spending. I've analyzed the embassies. Now let's go to the MDAs. The MDAs, vote 133. You talk about Minister of Information and Civic Education. You talk about Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation. You talk about National Council for Civic Education. I will go over that. Minister of Information and Civic Education. Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation. National Council for Civic Education. Do we need 3 different teams with full house for those responsibilities? Do we need it if we want to really cut down spending? Do we need all of this? State House, please listen to me. We don't need all of this. We can reduce it to at least 2. We can reduce it to at least, because it's a cabinet status. And with a cabinet status, you need a PS, you need deputy PS, you need director, you need deputy director, you need secretary, you need a full house. Do we need it? 1 billion old leons, 1 million new leons. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you have social welfare, you have gender and general affairs, with a total sum of 17.0 million new leons. Do we need to separate it? If we want to cut down on spending? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me go to another. I'll go to energy. You know, energy is like the blood running through your veins. It is the blood running through the veins of a nation. Without the energy, nothing works, nothing. Investors don't come. And then production will be impossible based on the technological world now. It will not be. And Mr. Minister, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you and I know that a key source of our energy now is the car power ship. Mr. Minister, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you check that one, the car power ship, you find out that government is spending much more on the car power ship. Since around February to June, from 2018, let me say from 2018 to June this year, government has expended about $320 million. About $320 million. And as it stands right now, we still owe them $70 million. Thank God for the swift intervention of His Excellency the President in June this year. Because they were poised to close them completely. But the proactive nature of the Minister of Energy, which was not as a person, but State House himself, he intervened. He intervened and ensured that it continues. But as it is, we still owe them $70 million. So the question is, for us to avoid this embarrassment, these people, they are milking this country, they are milking us. They are milking the economy of this country. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I read an article of the African Times dated 25th March 2025. With your leave, sir. Says Leone, despite its vast renewable energy potential, struggles with some of the highest electricity costs in Africa, largely due to over-reliance on expensive thermal power, outdated infrastructure, and above all, costly contracts with independent power producers like the Turkish-owned car power ship.
Now, Ben, right down in my Facebook page. Now, Ben.
Mr. Speaker, I want to remember. See, the Turkish-owned company has become an economic vampire and blood-sucking predator, draining the state resources and causing more harm than good. I will read that again. I will read that again. Mr. Speaker, am I protected?
You are protected, all.
Honorable members of this side, please.
African Times, dated 25th March. I will read this again. See, the Turkish-owned company has become an economic vampire and blood-sucking predator, draining state resources and causing more harm than good by worsening Sierra Leone's energy crisis and deepening energy poverty.
We don't know which is African time. We don't have a
Just Google African Times, 25th March.
Okay, it's all right.
It's a media platform. That is why I quoted the source. Google it.
Every publication. This is Parliament.
Take note and
Google it. Google it.
It's not African, it's
Google it.
take note and respond. Take note and respond. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this country, we have renewable energy source or sources. We have Gunguna phase 2. Gunguna phase 2. Gunguna phase 2 even has the potential to double the present Gunguna phase 1. All we need is the political will. We need a political will of State House. Gunguna phase 2 can give us so much more. Yes, Kapawashi was initially meant as a temporary contractual partner to give us energy for 5 years. It was initially meant by the APC government to give it for 5 years. When this government came, they reduced it to 2 years because it is a temporary measure. I agree. measure since 2018 is like becoming an eternal measure. It's like becoming an eternity measure. It's supposed to be a temporary measure. We contracted it for 5 years. This government came and released it to 2 years. Kudos to you. Well done, State House. Well done. That was your intention in 2018. But as it is now, they are still here. Why? Why? What is wrong? We need to go to these alternatives that you had in your mind when you reduced that time to 2 years. We need to. And Mr. Speaker, I'm also happy to note that when it was first contracted, we contracted with more price. The price was more. But when this government came, they reduced the cost. Kudos to you. Kudos to you, State House. They reduced the cost. My other problem is that having reduced that cost, on the contrary, the cost of tariff, electricity tariff, by ordinary consumers, continues to grow. It has grown for over 300%. But it's good that they reduce that cost, because I'm in favor of that. Cut down expenditure. Cut down expenditure so that your reserve will not be empty. Your reserve tank will not light. The gate will not light. But now, the people are still suffering anyway, because the cost of tariff has increased for over 300%.
Same lecturer.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on page 37, it's talking about roads and bridges in this country. Roads and bridges in this country.
All things said on a phone.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in June and August, this year, you'll be shocked to know this. Because if I ask you now, when did you last cross ferry? It's a very long time now. Because SO2, Bodon Kuli Commodity. Bodon Kuli Commodity. So you don't belong there anymore. Kudos to you. Congratulations. But we have thousands with the same life like you, same family like you. They have children, they have parents, they have sisters, they have brothers. They are crossing that ferry on a daily basis. Above all, we have pupils, school pupils, who are crossing that ferry on a daily basis to come to school, on a daily basis to go back home. Every day. You will be shocked to know. You will be shocked to know that in July and August this year alone, we have 2 breakdowns. 2 engines are down. While they are at sea, while the ferries have taken off. They have taken off. 2 breakdowns. So just imagine, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you can allow me, I will even say those ferries are not even good to transport animals. They are not even good to transport animals. They are not. They are not. They are not even good to transport animals. Mr. Speaker, my question now is, which miracle do you need? Do you need a miracle to allow an investor to come with 2 or 3 brand new ferries? Do you need miracle? Do you need miracle? No, sir. I believe I'm talking to State House. State House. Do you need miracle? With correct political will. Today is how much? Today is the 4th or 5th? Today is the 5th. By end of this year, we can have we can have brand new ferries. State House is capable. You don't need to pay your money. State House, please listen to me. You don't need to pay your money. You don't need NRA money. You don't need Minister of Finance money. You can allow a private investor to come and operate. And then, with the transportation cost, you negotiate that will be proper. The cost will be proper. And then with time, they can recover. In 6 months, no matter how expensive that ferry is, in 6 months, it will recover. So you can get it effortlessly. Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Don't say I did not say this. Don't tell me I did not say this. I don't want to see that day when minimum 400 will die in the IC. Don't tell me I did not say it too. I don't want to see that day. I don't want to see that day when a ferry will collapse in that place with no safety measures, and then minimum 400 people perish before we take action. I don't want to waste. I don't want to see that day. And this is so simple that it can be done even before the end of this year. It's very simple. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, one area that Mr. Minister should focus on in your expenditure, I've told you the dynamics. On one side, we will tell you how you get money. I've told you some of the ways to get more money. And then priority expenditure. When I look at your budget, page 37, your expenditure on water resources, on wash facilities, on scaling up nutrition. You know what I said to myself? If you get that one right, if you get it right, it will serve both purposes. It will serve the purpose of Finance Act to give you money. It will serve the purpose of Appropriation Act for wise expenditure. If you get the wash facility correct, you get the scaling up nutrition correct, you get 500 million. 500 million. So scaling up nutrition. Well done. It has never got that before. Scaling up nutrition is at the office of the Vice President. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, allow me to read an article dated 2nd October 2025, during which a particular WASH program was launched by not just a person, but the very State House. He launched it, and one thing I like about him, he speaks his mind. I've spoken with him personally so many times. I've studied him, and I'm a spiritual. Yes, I have the spirit of discernment. My spirit of discernment is huge. I have spirit of discernment. It's a gift from the Holy Ghost. You know that. So when he speaks, I can do post-mortem. Yes, if you have 50, you speak 30. The remaining 20, I can know 10. They unspoken 10. In his words, say access to safe water and sanitation is not a favor. Access to safe water and sanitation, in the words of President Bio, access to safe water and sanitation is not a favor extended to the few, but a right guaranteed by all. What a statement. Access to good water is not a favor. And it should not be limited to very few, but should be extended and guaranteed to all. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, The numbers say it all. As it is now, it says only 23% of Sierra Leoneans have access to safe drinking water at home. 23%. Only 23%. 1 in 4 people defecate outdoors. 1 in 4. They use outside toilets. Open that. In fact, sometimes, I said to myself, I disagree. It's more than 1 in 4. Sometimes I'm just tempted. But this was a program of which His Excellency was present. So he cannot be wrong because he has his experts who will do the research for him before making his statements. 1 in 4, every Sierra Leonean defecate outdoors. Only 12% of households have facilities to wash their hands with soap and water. So as a result, unsafe and poor sanitation accounts for 30% of the country's health issues.
Mr. Speaker,
30% of the country's health issues is related to waterborne disease.
Mr. Speaker, today is Friday. We are almost 3.
Mr. Speaker,
we have spent 2 hours.
If status is listening to you, he will frown at you right now. Because I know status is taking notes, because he knows what I'm saying is for the good of this country.
We have not said anything in 2 hours.
And we are not here to just give lip service. We are here to provide solution.
We have spent 2 hours.
We are here to provide solution.
Reading from Aaron's script.
Mr. Speaker.
Aaron, let's say the advice of
honorable members. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
And the balance of Aaron left.
Under scaling up petition, you know what they said? If you spend $1 to get good water supply, that $1 you've expended will save you a expenditure of $7 in solving problems. So in other words, if you spend $1 to prevent disease, that $1 expenditure will help you prevent cost of $7 in solving water-related diseases. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'll go to drugs. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I thank God and I thank His Excellency the President for the proactive action I have sensed these days. And when I say these days, I mean about a month. About a month. There's relatively real crackdown now on those goose sellers. There's been some crackdown on goose sellers. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I know there's a Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act of 2008. That drugs law enforcement provides penalty for drug traffickers, for drug sellers, to a maximum of 5 years. I mean, not less than 5 years imprisonment. But Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the words of
Aaron, help the man. Now you book the man they read.
Mr. Speaker,
Aaron, help the man.
honorable members, there's a suggestion regarding how can we tackle or crack down or help government to succeed in fighting against this push. As a responsible opposition, we hereby give the following recommendations. Number 1, we need an amendment. In fact, this one should be very immediate. It should be our first job, God willing. If we come back in 2026, it should be our first job to amend the Drugs Law Enforcement Agency Act. 1, to increase punitive measure. In fact, in my opinion, it's almost amount to murder It almost amounts to murder. By deliberately importing that food and selling it to the market, knowing very well that it is not good for the youth population of this country. And then you are seeing them dying on the street on a daily basis. It's murder. It may not be your real intent, but by implication, you are killing people. You are killing people. Therefore, in my opinion, that law needs to be amended to provide more punitive measures to people who are engaged in selling illegal drugs in this country. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in paragraph 98, 3, on page 2, also speaks to this. In conclusion, in closing, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I see a great disservice to a particular region in this country, of which it does not deserve that at all. And that is Bunguna. Bunguna. The treatment of Bunguna. Bunguna people, please listen to me. You are not being treated fairly. And this has lasted for long. Bunguna has been the source, the breadbasket of electricity in this country. The real source of electricity in this country is Bunguna. The real breadbasket of our mining revenue in this country is Bunguna. The biggest or largest mining company is in Bunguna. And even the last time when the CDA was paid, I was privileged to be there. When the president went and passed that check to the local committee, I was there. His Excellency the President was there. You know what happened? Mr. Speaker, you can't believe this one. The president used Magorga route to come to Bunguna. On his way back, he refused to go back through that route. He chose Bunguna and Bengola route. Because of the poor nature. You have to swim in ponds, out of the pond, in the pond, out of the pond, from Magorga all the way to Bunguna. It's pond, out of the pond, in the pond, out of the pond. Bunguna deserves better, bro. Bunguna deserves better. Even to the extent the president did not have he was scared. Say no. In fact, if I had known, I would have used the color Bunguna road. Had I known. Because this is security. In the pond out of the pond, just imagine what will happen. And on his return, it was late. It was late. Mr. Speaker, when I checked the roads, I found out that.
Leader, please. Sit down.
Honorable Speaker, I move that SO 52 be suspended for the business of the House so that our honorable opposition leader will continue to talk.
Any second there? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Finally. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much. In the 5th Parliament, you contributed personally to my community bridge project in my constituency. I won't say the amount, but it was huge. But unfortunately, your effort has been deferred. Mr. Minister, there's a bridge called Bagbe Bridge in Yenichik Dome, Kwanedugu district. That bridge is an 84-meter bridge, as big as Orogu Bridge, with 7 pillars of 7-meter space between each. 8 pillars. If you check Orogu Bridge, it's 8 pillars of 7 meters apart. And I use that design to do mine. The same 8 pillars, 84 meters. We started that one, we did 6 out of 8. What was there was 2 plus the pavement, and your money is there. You will be remembered. But now, luckily for us, when things change, government change, President Leone took over. He said, well, I will do it for them. Since he took over in 2018, up to date, nothing. But above all, I was hopeful that maybe this coming dry season, he will do it. But I saw under the project being deferred, I saw that Bagway Bridge being deferred to 2027 or beyond. I believe that is not your wish. Because your wish was to complete that bridge very early. That is why you contributed. Even though you were on the other side, you showed me that you are a true. I mean, I was APC when I was championing that bridge project. You were SLPP. You contributed. But now the completion of that bridge has been deferred. Mr. Minister, can you do a rethink? Just rethink. Please adjust. Finally, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, FBC Road. I cannot say FBC Road to date. Hey, boy, FBC Road, we all went through SB. I saw your resume. You went through FBC. And now you are one of the best. You are one of the best. Because you are product of FBC. One of my best ministers. Yes. We've got finance ministers, but you are one of the best. FBC Road is nothing to write home about. It's less than 2 kilometers. It's less than 2 kilometers. Can't you do some miracle? We need miracle from you. Because it is not included in the roads. It is not included, Mr. Speaker. Of course, FBC is you are FBC. You know what I'm saying. Your college, the road is the worst. And in fact, for you, it's very simple. Because it's the road to your house. It's the road to your home. So you have experienced it. You experience it on a daily basis. No sooner you pass court rights. No sooner you pass court rights, there's a right is hell on earth. Not even go up to court rights. But if that road was well built, it would have been better for him. You know? So, Mr. Minister, FBC is your alma mater. You went to FBC, and that is why you are one of the best ministers today. And by the time you leave this place, you'll be entitled to honorable minister. Consider FBC Road. It's less than 2 kilometers. It's not much. It's not much. So on that note, I want to say again that I thank all my colleagues here. Let us support this project with the modifications and the advice that we have given them. They will take it in good faith. We are partners in development, and we have proven that.